Hello my friends, today we're learning Bava Basra Daf Kuf Chof Vav. So we're starting from the top line on Amud Aleph. Omar Ravuna Omar Ravasi Bechor Shemicha Micha. Meaning we said that if someone died, Yaakov died, and you have Reuven the Bechor, Shimon and Levi, and then Shimon and Levi went and made the properties of the father better, so when it went up in value, Reuven doesn't get double. So says Rav Huna in the name of Ravasi, that's only if the Bechor never told these brothers, please don't invest in the property. I want to get my two portions I gather Bechor, and I'll invest in them. So if he was Moicha and said, please don't, and they went and they invested, he gets double in what went up in value. Omar Rabba, Mistaber Tamed Ravasi, it makes sense that Ravasi was talking about Banovim Bitru, grapes, and they cut them off the tree. Zaitim, olives, umoskum, and they took them off the tree. It's two different ways how to say. By grapes you say tzira, and by zaitim you say mesika. So then, because there was no shinui, and now it's worth more that it's off the tree, he gets double in these olives and in these grapes. Aval dorchum, if they went and stepped on them, and they made olive oil, or they made wine, so now there was a shinui. So in that case, loy, there were koine b'shinui, and what went up in value is the brothers who did it, maybe without doing the right thing, because the type of stealing, because he said not to do it, but still the profit that went up in value is Zev shared with him. Rav Yosef Amar afilu dorchum. Rav Yosef says no. When Rav Huna said in the name of Ravasi, he was talking about even if they stepped on them and made it into olive oil or into wine, the same din applies, that he gets more, double. On that the Gemara asked, Dorchum, how could that be? Mikora invi, at the beginning it's grapes, ashtachamar, now it's wine. Or it's at the beginning it's olives and now it's olive oil, it's a whole new item. So how are they not koine b'shinui? So l'chora Ganev is koine b'shinui, so these brothers should also koine b'shinui. Why does he get where it goes up in value? So the Gemara could do Omar Rav Ukva Bar Choma litin loid mei hezek anovo. Like Rav Ukva said, like we're going to see soon about what he said it, that it's not talking about that he gets wine, double portion in the wine on the olive oil. No, all it means is that if the olive, let's say now they turned into wine and the wine went off, so he gets double in the value of how much it was worth as grapes. Ochinami also by us, when it doesn't mean that there's a machloikis over here of Rabbah and Rav Yosef in Divrei Ravasi. No, they both agree. Each one said a different din. Rabbah said one thing, that the din of Rav Asi applies only when they cut off the tree, but not when they made it into wine. And Rav Yosef said a different thing, that if it got ruined, the wine, so they still have to give him the double portion of grapes. Where did Rav Ukva Bar Choma say his din? Aha, the Omar Rav Yehuda, Omar Shmuel, says it more on the thing that Rav Yehuda said in the name of Shmuel. What did he say? Bechor Pashut, a Bechor and a not Bechor, Shiniach Leim Avim Anovim, the father left grapes, Ubotrum, and they cut them off the tree. Zaitim, olives, umoskum, and they cut them off the tree. Bechor Noitel Bishnaim, he gets double. Afilu Dorchum, even if they stepped and made out of it olive oil or wine. On that the Gemara asks, Dorchum Ikorin ve'ashtacham, there's a shinui ma'isa, and even a ganav's koina, so why these brothers are not koina? On that Omar Maroko Bar Choma litin me'ezek anovo, it doesn't mean that it gets double in the wine, it means it gets double in the value as them as grapes if they went rotten. Omar Ravasi b'chor shenot al chelek keposhut vita. So Ravasi says a bechor that they came to split up one field, and instead of, let's say, him and his brother, so he gets two portions and his brother gets one portion, but he only took half, and he gave his brother a half, or if there's another two brothers, each one took a third. So b'chor shenot al chelek like a poshut vita, he was mevata on his b'chora. On that the Gemara asks, my vita, on what part is he vata? Is it only on this field that is split now, on all the fields that they're going to split in the future? Rav Papa mishmeidirova oma vita boisa soda. It only means on this field he doesn't get double, but in the other fields he doesn't. Soon we're going to see the tam. And Rav Papi mishmeidirova, Rav Papi says in the same person from the same of Rav, and soon we're going to see that from a story each one learned it differently. Oma vita b'chol nechosim. No, not only he doesn't get a double in this field, he doesn't get double in any of the other fields. So we learned early on that the Bechor could say, I don't want my din Bechor, I only want to get like a simple brother, because it's like a matona, and he could say, I don't want it. So that's clear. The question is if he's mevata only in this specific field or all the other fields, and we're going to see why in a second. Again, so our papa mishmei derova ma vite bechol and chosim kula. Our papa mishmei derova ma vite boise so de why kosova ein lo lebechor koidim chalukah. Meaning that before the bechor gets double, he doesn't have any bailus on the double. Only when you split it, that's when he gets his double, and therefore, so very good in this field, he could be, now that we're splitting it up, he could be moichel in his dim bechora, but on the next field, he can't be moichel because it's not his yet to be moichel. Why? Kosova, he holds yeshlo lebechor kodim chalukah. Already before chalukah, he has already double. We just don't know which part is his. Since he was moichel in this field, that means he's saying, I don't want to be a bechor in this field. Achil bekulu. We know we take on someone's moichel in one field, he's moichel in all the fields, and therefore. And since he has already he has a schus already in his hand, it's not over shaloi baloilom. He can be moichel on everything. Said the Gemara, Bahoder, Papu who argue what Rava says. Lo befurish itma. It's not that Rava said and each one understood differently. Ela michlole itma. There was a story, and each one learned the story different and took out the different direction. What was the story? There was a bechor. The azil zovin nichse didei v'de poshut. He went and he sold the field that belongs to him and that belongs to the Poshut. I mean, they never split up yet the Yerush, and he went and sold it to a third person. And then the Poshut brother passed away. So Ozol Yatmi b'nei Poshut, the Yisraelim of the one who wasn't a Bechor, Lemechel Tamri, to eat dates, Me'anu Lekuchos, from the Lekuchos who bought the field with the dates. Machunu, they hit the Yisraelim that they shouldn't touch the dates. They didn't let them touch them. Amrlu Kroivim, so the Kroivim of the Yisraelim told the Lekuchos, Lo mistayed is a bintul in Nechosim, not only you bought the Nechosim of the father that now belongs to the Yisraelim, and he didn't buy it correctly because he bought it off the Bechor, he didn't buy it off the Poshut. Elamim Chanami Machisulu, now you're hitting the Yisraelim, what's going on with you? Also, the Kamei the Rava, the situation, this case came in front of Rava, Amalu Loi Osav Loi Klum. So Rava said the sale is not chal. Said the Gemara Daf Kuf Vav Vav Beis. Marasovar Rav Papi held Loi Osa Klum means Bepalga. It means he didn't do anything in the part of his that means the Bechor didn't do anything in the chelik of that he's his half, the sale of the Bechor is nothing in the half that he's taking like a Poshut, a brother. Because the Bechor has two parts, one like a Poshut and one like the Bechor. So the part of the Poshut, he didn't get anything. And even more so of the brother's chelik, because he has no right to sell his brother's chelik. But his chelik, he does have a right to sell. Why is that? Because the Bechor has a right in his chelik before Chalukah, and therefore that's chal. So therefore he assumed that Bechor has a chelik in his part, that Bechor, his part, even before Chalukah is his, and that's why once he's moichel in everything. Umasor, the other shitter of Papa, the Kulu, that the Bechor who sold everything without permission of his brother, nothing's chal. Why is that? Because his brother's chelik for sure is not chal because he has no right on it, and his poshta chelik also not. And the Rashbam on Amud Aleph explains that because it says Loshen Esina, it's only his when he gets it, and even the Bechor's part he doesn't get, it's not chal because it's also not his until he gets it, and therefore we could see he held that it's not his until he gets it, and therefore if you're moichel on one field, you're not moichel on the other fields because it's not yours yet to be moichel. Said the Gemara, Sholchu mitom, they sent from Eretz Yisrael, Bechor shemochar, a Bechor who sold the nechosim of his father, koidim chalukah lo yosa klum, it's nothing. Alma, we could see, en lo Bechor koidim chalukah, in Eretz Yisrael, they held that Bechor doesn't have any rights before chalukah. The Irchesan, the halacha is, yesh lo Bechor koidim chalukah. The Bechor does have a right in his Bechor part before chalukah. Obviously, you need to split it up to know which part it is, but he has already the right in his hands. Malzutra from a place called Miderishba, Polak Betzana de Pilpele Be'ade Achim B'Shove. He was a Bechor, and they had a basket of peppers, and they split it half. Each one got a third, a quarter, however much brothers there was, and he didn't take as the Bechor, he didn't take double. Osel Kameder Avashi Omale oil vitarto b'miktsas. Since you're moichel already on your bechora on this basket of peppers, vitarto b'chol nechosim kulam, you're mevat on all the nechosim because you schus bechora you have already in your hand, and since you're moichel on the first splitting up, it means you're moichel on everything, and therefore you don't get any more din bechora. Says a Mishnah. Someone says each ploini b'ni bechora, each ploini who's my bechora lo yitul pishnaim. I don't want him to get din bechora. I don't want him to get double. Or he says, second case, ish ploini b'ni lo yirash imachov, or about the poshta brother, or about the bechor, don't want to get him any yerusha. Lo omar klum, it's not chal. Why? She eat no mashal kos mater. The Torah says that the son's yarshin and the bechor gets double, so you can't be masne. You can't do a condition against what it says in the Torah. But if he said amichalek nechosav al piv, someone who's a shchivmara is going to die, and he says, what did he say? Ribo leechod, he says Reuven should get more. Umiyat la'achar, he says Shimon should get less. V'ish v'lo enes ha-bechor, he said that the bechor shouldn't get double. Dvarav kayomim, because the matna shchivmara is like a matona, and it's not midin Yerusha. It's chal straight away without a kinyan, and therefore straight away a person can decide who to give his nechosim as a present to. And therefore, he's no master mashagot kosam Torah. In the first case, he said midin Yerusha. Midin Yerusha, you can't change. But matana, you can give who you want, and then when he passes away, he has no more nechosim. B'im omar, if he said mishum Yerusha, if he said that it should be mishum Yerusha, lo yamar krum, like we said before, is masne al mashakos Torah. If you wrote in the shtar tzavo, bein betchila, bein beemtza, bein b'asoif, they've given one of them more or less. Mishum matana dvarav kayamim, because matana you can decide how much to give. Says the Gemara, leima masnisim lechara our mishnah deloi Rabbi Yehuda. It doesn't fit in like Rabbi Yehuda. Why not? The Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yehuda says you can't be masa mashikosa b'Torah when it comes to Isurim. But when it comes to Mominis, you could, and here we're talking about Mominis. So L'chara, our Mishnah said that you can't about the Tzaval, that's Mominis, it's not Rabbi Yehuda. The Tanya that we learned, Ta'oim le'ish aret mekudeshes li. Al menashe eino laich olai she'er ksus v'oino. He says, you mekudeshes to me, but I'm not obligated to the thing the Torah said, and that's food, clothes, and relationship. Aryeh mekudeshes, so the Kiddushin tzchal, but no bottle, but he still has to give Sherv Ksus V'oino Dibra Meh, because he can't be master on Mashikosa B'Torah. Rabbi Yehuda, but Dova Shema Momen, when it comes to She'er and Ksus, that's momonistic a thing, food and clothes, Noi Kaim. So you can see that Dova Shema Momen Noi Kaim. So our Mishnah does not fit in like Rabbi Yehuda. Something wrong, no. Afilu Tema, really you could say Rabbi Yehuda. Really, you could say it is Rabbi Yehuda. The difference is, Hosom Yoda v'Kamochla, over there the woman, he came and he said to her that I'm not giving you Sherik Susoina, and she agreed. And when it comes to Dova Shemomon, that it's a schus for the woman, she could say, okay, I agree, and in Dova Shemomon, no, I can't. Hocha, but over here, Loi Kamochil, who made the Tnai? The father. Who is schus is it? It's the son. The son has to be masking. You can't just take it away from him. And therefore Rabbi Yehuda will agree, if the son wasn't masking, that you can't do such a tnai. If the son says okay, then it's chal. Omar Rav Yosef. If someone says, Omar ish ploini b'ni b'chorihu, this person is my son and his b'chor, so and he passes away the father. Noitel pishnaim, he gets double. We trust the father to say that he's the b'chor. But if he says ish ploini b'chorhu, doesn't say he's my b'chor, he's a b'chor. And he's talking about his son. He doesn't take double. Why? Dilma buchra the imakoma. Maybe he means bechor from his mother, but not bechor from the father. And we know that only bechor from the father gets double. Said the Gemara a story. He said, he told the Rabbi Barachana, muchzukani b'dei muchzik in this person shul bechor. They're the bechor, and therefore he should get in the Yerusha double. Amalei mi no yodas. How do you know they're the Bechor? So he answered, his father used to call him Buchor Sachla, stupid Bechor. So he told him, Rabbi Baravuna told him, Dilma Buchor de Imayu. Maybe he means the Bechor from his mother. The Chol Buchor de Ima Nami Buchor Sachla Korele. Because many times a person calls his son, who's a Bechor from his wife, Buchor Sachla. But it doesn't mean that it's Buchor from him, and therefore he doesn't get double. Said the Gemara another story. He told Rab Chanina, muchzakani, I know that bezeh and this person Shul Bechor, and therefore he should get double in the Yerusha of his father. Amalei minoyada. So Rav Chanina asked the person, how do you know? Amalei, so we told Rav Chanina, when people would come with issues in the eyes that they need a doctor, Amalu, he would tell them, Zilu legabe shikhas bri, go to the person, to my son that's called shikhas, the bukhrahu, that he's a bukhrahu masiruke, and his spit is good for your eyes. So we could see that it was a bukhar. Said the Gemara, Vedima bukhadimu, maybe it's a bukhar from the mother, not from the father. How do we know that it's a bukhar from the father? Said the Gemara, Gemiri, we know that bukhar, the abba, only a bukhar from the father, masiruke, his spit has healing properties in it. Bukhar the ima, but bukhar from the mother, loy masiruke, he does not have healing properties, and therefore, if he said that he has healing properties and his spit is good for the eyes, it must be that he means a bukhar from his father, and therefore it's a raya that he's really a bukhar. And the Rashbam said that these cases are talking about where he had another aid with him, because you need to aid him, as we know. Should all be blessed, should have lots of shefa and tzuris tovus, the Korah.